All right, students, welcome back. Math 7, lesson 1.3. This time it is subtracting integers. So our essential question is, how are adding integers and subtracting integers related? Because if I can use the skills from the adding integers for my subtracting integers, then hey, I am one step ahead and I'll be ready to go. So I can is our I can statement. I can subtract integers. So in other words, if I give you 4 subtract 5, you'll be able to do that. All right, how do you subtract integers? The easiest way for me to do that is to add its opposite. So a lot of the time in 7th grade and 8th grade, we will remind you and test you on add the opposite. Now, we talked about opposites on our previous assignment, and some of you just know opposites from elementary school, so that's going to make it a little bit easier for you. So really, we just need to edit our problem. So if you notice there, it says 2 subtract 7, but I really change it to adding the opposite. So it means the subtraction sign becomes a plus sign, and the 7 becomes a negative 7. Now, a lot of students don't stress about the parentheses, and I don't worry about that too much. You're just really going to do adding the opposite. So plus negative 7. This is the generic format. If you have A subtract B, remember the first integer stays the same. You change the subtraction to addition, and the second integer becomes the opposite. All right, so let's just try a few, and then we'll have a few more examples, and we'll be ready to go. So it says, example 1, 6 subtract 15. It really means 6 add negative 15. So you're going to do the rules from the previous lesson, because again, they have different signs. So if they have different signs, that means you're going to subtract, and then you're going to take the sign from the greatest absolute value. So looking at it, you probably just know right away that it's going to be a negative answer, because negative 15 has the greater absolute value. So you really just got to work on your subtraction, because I have some students who would say this. Hopefully not you. They would write it as 15 subtract 6 if they have to show it. And they'd say, oh, 6 subtract 5 is 1. So they would say it's negative 11. That is not correct, because if you do your subtraction correctly, you get negative 9. So you've got to be really careful there. Simple mistakes from elementary school we cannot repeat in 7th grade and 8th grade. All right, negative 7 subtract 8. So according to my adding the opposite, the first integer stays the same, negative 7. Change the subtraction to addition, and the second integer becomes the opposite. So we now have negative 7 plus negative 8. And it looks like this. If you want to, you can use a separate color just like that to indicate that it is changing. Now, according to our integer rules with adding same signs, it really just means add them up, keep the same sign. So 7 plus 8 is 15, but I must keep my negative sign. Yay. Again, as basic as this should be and sound, a lot of students make mistakes because they go too quickly. Now, don't rush, please. Take some time. Ooh, I like this one here. Let me give you a moment to think about it. How do I do adding the opposite here? First integer stays the same. Subtraction becomes addition. Second integer becomes the opposite. So let's see. What about this? 15. Subtraction becomes addition. The opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. Yeah. And that's what some students usually do. They just put 2 plus signs there. I'm good. 19. But showing that adding the opposite. So again, that second color, I think, can be very helpful for you. First integer stays the same. Subtraction becomes addition. Second integer becomes the opposite. So let's see. Negative 11. Adding the opposite. Yeah. Oh, wait. Different signs now. So different signs. I need to subtract, take the sign from the greatest absolute value. So just looking at it, we know negative 11 has the greater absolute value, so it's going to be a negative answer. My subtraction gives me a 4, so negative 4 is my answer. Very nice. All right, let's just do a few more examples, getting ready for your assignment. Now, it may ask you to compare. Let's do a comparison problem. So let's see here. Let's see. Negative 4 subtract negative 2. And we're going to compare that using our inequality sign or equal sign to negative 3 subtract 1. All right, so it's kind of like two problems. On the left, it's negative 4 adding the opposite. So negative 4 plus positive 2. Now those are different signs, so I'm going to subtract, take the greatest absolute value sign. So I'm going to get a negative 2. I don't know what happened there. So let's scribble that out. Let's say negative 2. All right, over here, it is negative 3 adding the opposite. Negative 3 plus negative 1. This time it's the same sign, so that means I get to add them together, which is 4, and keep the sign, negative 4. So that means I am comparing negative 2 and negative 4. Let me make it really big for our Vision Challenge friends. Compare negative 2 and negative 4. Now, if I had the number line in front of you, which I do in normal classroom, you might be able to pull one up if you need to. The number further on the left of the number line is obviously the smaller number. The number further on the right of the number line is the larger number. You know what? I have some space. Let's see. Here is 0, 1, and then counting this way. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Arrows means it keeps going. All right, so I see negative 4 further to the left than I see negative 2. So that means negative 2 is greater than negative 4. So I got to use the greater than sign. This again means negative 2 is greater than negative 4. Excellent. And you know what? I think we're good there because we are trying to make it similar to our previous lesson. The only small difference that we're doing is adding the opposite. So even though it's a subtraction problem, we're going to change it into adding the opposite. All right, be awesome and then get started on your assignment.